Okay, so today I'm going to go ahead and get started with some for looping. We'll go ahead and declare our variables up here, and I'll go ahead and write out a for loop. So, I'm going to go ahead and initialize I right there. And go ahead and do this. So, here I'm going to go ahead and put a statement in there. And basically, this is what a complete for loop is going to look like. And what does this all mean? Well, go ahead and show you. So, this right here is the initializer. So, because it wasn't already declared up here, now it's 1. Here is a test expression. We're going to make sure I is going to be less than 4. And right here is our incrementer, and I meant to make that I. It'll increase this number by 1 every time it performs these statements in here. The iteration of the loop will continue until the expression is false. Let's go ahead and run this loop. 1, 2, 3. Once it became 4, 4 less than 4 is not true. It's equal to 4. So it stops right there. Now, what if we do something like this? Go ahead and put it out there. So what I did there is I made a nested for loop, which is basically a for loop within a for loop. And I also put a little space here, take note of that, to differentiate the line when you see it in the code running. So that's some pretty interesting behavior. Basically, with a nested for loop, this is pretty much the same function as what I did with I, but was substituted with the letter J. Basically, all it's doing is it's performing everything inside it, and then this counter becomes 2. Then it'll do everything inside, and the counter becomes, we'll increment it to 3 rather. And yeah. Now, just for some kicks, I can go ahead and do something interesting like this. And of course, I'll go ahead and copy this. Paste. Okay. And see what this does. Oh yeah, that's a mess. I can't even read what's going on. Except we know that there's a lot of things going on upon this outermost loop. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1. It's a random jargon. What is going on? Well, this is the importance of adding that space to differentiate the lines when you run it. Let's see what happens now. Okay, that's a little better. So we got a loop here, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then a loop here. So it's like what we did before, but it's throwing that entire chunk of a nested loop in a bigger loop. So that apparently is what loops are doing. They do the innermost thing, then the second most outermost thing, and then the third outermost thing, and it becomes huge after a certain point.